Hello, welcome to our RegoUniversity webinar series. Today we're looking at Rego's new Excel data manager that allows you to process your Clarity data in Excel. I'm Camille Pack, Director of Marketing. Thanks for joining us. So before we start, I'd like to take a moment just to point out some of the features on your webinar dashboard. You could resize any of the visible boxes, just click and drag them. The best box is the resource list, where we've posted a link to RegoUniversity, which is the largest Clarity and Agile training and networking event of the year. It's September 29th in beautiful San Diego, and early bird registrations open now. RegoU started because our clients wanted to have a place for knowledge sharing and networking that didn't feel salesy. And this is where you get to have access to our Rego guides. And they're really incredible people who have helped 60% of the Fortune 20 and 40% of the Fortune 100. So take a moment and check it out. So let's get started. Joining me today is David Zywick. He's a Clarity Solution Architect and Integration Specialist who lives in Portland, Oregon with his horse-sized dog, Malort. Davey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to get started.
All right, let's see this thing.
All right. Hi, everyone. As Camille said, I am a integration specialist and a Clarity Solution Architect. Rego recently purchased a interface called the Rego Excel adapter from our partner ITROI. And this is one of the integrations that you can see. We have 600 plus customers, but we don't have a lot of customers using this interface just yet. So we wanted to make sure that you understand what it can do and the usefulness it brings and the benefits. Let's get started. What is the Excel Data Manager? The Excel Data Manager is going to allow you to take all of your CA PPM data, all that Clarity data, and extract it into Excel. Now, that's not new functionality. You've been able to do that. What makes this so unique is the ability to edit that data inside of that Excel, validate it from Excel, and then send it back and have it update in Clarity. And not only send it back and update, you can send back new information and have it create inside of Clarity. Now, there are two different types of editions. One of them is the standalone and one is the enterprise. Today, we're going to be demoing the standalone, but the enterprise edition is also available. The enterprise edition is going to give you the integration manager, which is going to allow for more administration capabilities and auditing. And this basically allows you as a admin to see what the users are putting in via the Excel Data Manager. So if a user has an issue, you'd be able to go into that integration manager and see why that issue came up. All right. Now, the interface or the integration that we have has 25 objects out of the box, meaning these are already set up for you to use. You purchase this interface and you would get all of these working right off the bat. This is not the limitation. You can create more interfaces than what you see here. The more popular ones, as the rate matrices and the projects, are used constantly. But if you had a custom object for GL accounts or benefit to salary percentages, you could have that as an interface in here that users could easily update and bulk load. So one of the key reasons we wanted to bring this up is the new UI is starting to become very useful and is being adopted by a lot of our clients. The new UI looks like this. Share my screen here. It's got this nice project lookup. It allows us to see all of our projects in a kind of Kanban story. But this really isn't a list view. It's not very useful to update everything or see it all in that list view. So that's where the Excel Data Manager is really going to shine for you as well. As you move over to this interface in this view, you're going to want to make sure that you still have the ability to get that list. And the Excel Data Manager is going to allow that. On top of that, it's going to allow us to do that bulk update. So today we're going to go over a scenario where I have one day to get ready for a fiscal year of 2019. I have projects that I need to create. I have projects that I created before, but I need to update them now. I have to assign resources to those projects. And then I have to also update a custom attribute that we created called fiscal year. So what I want to do is the very first thing is bring up our Excel. So I'm bringing up our PPM Excel standalone. As you can see, we have a whole ribbon here called PPM Excel interface. The very first, the most important functionality you'll see is the Get. The Get lets you see all the interfaces that are available. Now, as I said, this is dynamic. You can add or remove these interfaces if you want your users to have access to them. We are going to use the Projects interface. So I'm going to select that Projects. And it's going to ask if I want to put a filter. Now, I could say, hey, I only want to see one project, FY1901. And it's going to get me all of our values. Now, you can see I have my project name come up, my project ID, the manager, it's active. And all of these values, you can see there's a star. That means they're required. So if I was to delete this and then tried validating, so if I select this validate here, it's going to tell me I have an error. That's a required field. So I need to have that field. I can reset my home. And now what I can do is I can re-pull that value. And this time I'm going to pull everything up. I don't need to just get that one project. Hit yes, I do want to bring everything in. Now, we can use all of the functionality that is allowed in Excel. So for example, I want to actually just filter this list down. I can go into the data area, hit my filter, and now I can filter based on that ID pretty simply. I can go into our area here, look at project ID, and I want to look at all my FY19 values. Here's all my fiscal year 2019. Now I can see I'm still the manager of 2 projects. I actually need to assign a new manager here. So this is one of those fields that's allowing us to see data in Clarity. I couldn't assign someone that doesn't exist in Clarity. So I have to select from this list. If I started typing in here and then I hit out, it's going to tell me that's not a match. I have an action. So I have to make sure I'm selecting someone that's inside of Clarity. We're going to make Ed Carmen the PM for our enhancement 1. And we're going to make Deepak the PM for our enhancement 2. Now you can see it gave this orange value. That means that we've changed it. Now I can keep going over to the right. One of the new things that we added with our enhancements is that we're now going to have a new department. And this is quite a common use case for a lot of businesses, especially in the new fiscal year. We created these projects not knowing where they would be put. I actually had the request to make a new department called Innovation and move all these enhancements to it. So you can see my innovation is in here as a department. I can select that, and again, using that out-of-the-box Excel, I can pull it in and push it. Copy and paste, pretty simple. Now if I go back to my PPM Excel interface, I can validate. Okay, all of my data is correct. I now want to load this data in here. So I'm going to hit the load button. 100% complete. I do not see any failures. If I go back into my area here, I'm going to go to the classic view. Again, all of this changed, right? I'm not the PM anymore. We moved that department OBS. If I hit refresh, I can now see it all happened. Again, very simple bulk edits. All through our Excel. We really don't need to move away from that Excel. I'm just confirming the data. Now let's do another thing. I said I needed to create new projects. I need 10 to 20 more projects, and they're all sustainment projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on our row here, and there's another functionality called Mass Row Insert. So I can select this Mass Row Insert. It's going to say, how many projects do you want to create? Well, I need to create 20 more projects. It's going to create those 20 projects for me, and it's going to tell me what I need to fill out. If I leave something blank and hit validate, it's going to error out on me. So I need to have these values in here. So I'm going to call them fiscal year 2019 sustainment 01. I can do this and copy it down and copy it down. And we put 3 here. Now, if I try to bring this down, see if this will work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Nope, it's not going to. This autofill goes down. No, I don't think it will. That's okay. I'm going to copy this, make 20 of them, and just update them. 4, 5, 6. Now, this -1 that you see right here is very particular to your environment. You want to keep it as a -1 if you have auto numbering available. We don't have that enabled right now, so I need to actually put in my project ID, or else they'd all have the -1 as the ID. So I'm going to put in 09 and then 0, 0, 1. That's my value. I can go in the home here. I'm going to actually make this general, see if that fixes my issue. Get a value going down. The reason my auto is not going in. Oh my, that's fascinating. Oh, Excel, get me every time. We'll put into our 6, 7. Probably shouldn't have chosen 20, but here we are. Okay. Now, I want to make myself the project manager till we know who's going to be put in there. So I'm going to find David Zywick in here. And I can just copy and paste that down. And those are valid numbers. Now, again, it's going to tell me in yellow what needs to be provided. I want to put this all to true. I want to make sure it's not a template. Then I'm going to copy these values down. I'm actually going to copy all of these because I want them to all be the same, except for our corporate department, because that corporate department is now going to be in business operations. These are also statements. Okay. Now I'm going to go back, go to the top here, hit my PPM Excel, and validate. All my data is correct, it says. That means I can load this data up. So again, I'm going to hit that load functionality. It's going to give me a progress on how many are added or inserted. So we can see 15 have been inserted, 19 got inserted. I can hit select out. And now if I was to go back into my area, hit refresh, I can now see I have my sustainment. Oop. Did I not name it? There we go. Named it a little something different. So I can see my fiscal year 2019 values got added here. We have our business operations 3.1 on the PM. Pretty simple. Now we have that custom attribute. Now, as I said, this can be all customized. So I created a custom attribute called fiscal year. And if I look at this, I have FY 2017 and FY 2018 available. These are all based off what we see in Clarity. So what I need to do is make an FY 2019. So I'm going to go into my lookups. activate this fiscal year 2019, return it. Now, if I was looking at it now, I'm not going to see that update. I actually have to perform an update lookups, what you see right here. This is a functionality that's going to cause a change in our PPM standalone. And the reason why is when I go into this, I have to hit the home reset. Now, if I was to try to hit this interface, it should give me an error. Because I've updated the lookups, it means it's a new version. So it reset it back to the original version and said, hey, you made an update. You need to make sure that you have the interface working correctly. So when that happens, it's an admin utility here, and it's quite the easy lookup. So I go to my interfaces. I see there at day before 3. I look at my lookups. It says we're expecting all 4.3. Let's hit a save here. Go back. And now I can load my projects. And we can see our values here. So I'm going to go back up to 95% so we can all view it. Put in that filter. Bring up our FY19. We have our sustainment projects here. Now I need to all make them that fiscal year of 2019. So we can see it's now available to us. Copy that down, push it in, save. Go back to our Excel. Let's validate. It's a valid value. Load that value in. We can see 100% complete. I can go back into my view just to check. And now I can see all of my projects have that fiscal year 2019. Very simple, easy bulk update. Now what I'm going to do is I actually need to assign people to these FY 2019. Just this first one. So there's another interface that we can use here. We can use our project teams. I'm going to select this, saying it's looking for all right, is version 4.3. So if I go to my select interface, project teams is Davey. Set our home. Bring up our project teams. Go back. There we go. Same issue. We can pull our data in. Now we can see all our values. Now I actually need to check if there's anyone on my project yet. So if I go in here, do a data filter, look for our project ID, fiscal year. We can see one project has these resources assigned. Now what I need to do is I need to add people to my fiscal year enhancement 3. I'm going to copy these values over. Gotta make sure I insert. Mass insert. We want to enter 5 people onto this project. So I'm just going to copy these down. We can see it automatically get added. And then I can add my resource. I'm actually going to add our Blair here. Their resource name is Blair Ives. Now, if you added a role and you want to add their resource team name, you can do that here. This is our architect. They are not the project manager. They are open. And we're just going to copy all these values down. I'm going to go in here, take this and say this is true for all of them. Then I can copy all of these guys down. I can say, hey, these are all the same people. I want them on this project, even their same roles here. But David Zywick is the PM on this project. So we're going to put true on that. Now, if I wanted to change our value here, I could say, hey, this person actually should start on 450. Because we aren't testing until we have our product created. I can validate, check that our values are there, load our data up. And now if we go back into Clarity, hit my team area, we can see all those resources were added to the project. Quick, easy, I'm set up for fiscal year 2019 now, and it took me 10 minutes. Again, the Excel adapter is going to get you a lot of value when it comes to bulk updates, bulk loads, and bulk inserts.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Davey. That makes processing data almost fun. So we really appreciate your time. And as we conclude, remember to check out RegoUniversity.com and join us in San Diego. We've got bungalow-style guest rooms. There's going to be bonfires on the beach. You can rent pontoon boats, and it's only $800. So thanks for being with us today. On behalf of Rego Consulting, we hope you have a wonderful day.